Christmas may be a time to celebrate for most people, but for some women in Nabuli, it is a reason to celebrate freedom, as the oldest witches' camp in the country is closed down. Women as old as 90 years old are celebrating their freedom for the first time after being held for many decades in this witches' camp for suspicion of being witches.
Lining up to make merry, dancing to traditional songs of the Kokumba people. This is Nabuli on Happy Days. From this event, 57 women forced to live at one of Ghana's so-called witches' camps on accusations of witchcraft are today walking back home as free people again.
It's perhaps the happiest day in the life of the people of this village. For the first time in the lives of some of these people, over 57 women who have for all their life only known penury, persecution, and atrocities are now free to go home. And they can't help but dance to such a great achievement.
We are grateful for today because we can now mingle with people. This has given us a good name now. The camp's closure gives us joy. Nothing compares to this. We are very happy that this whole crowd is here to celebrate because of us. Today, all our relatives have come here and they know that this camp has ended. And so when we go home, they will treat us well.
This is our liberation day, said one of the women who had been here in this camp since 1994.
I regard the closure of the camp as a show of compassion and a duty to fight for the fundamental human rights of the alleged witches.
This symbolizes the official closure of the camp. So
it has been a long time coming. Getting here has taken years of engagement with shrine owners of the camp and the chiefs. Payment of compensations to those who have for years used this camp and the women here as a means of earning money and setting up the inmates themselves in income-generating activities so they can stand on their feet once they leave here.
It's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to be invited to address you on this momentous day. We need to continue to remind ourselves that these camps affect the conscience of society and they are by their nature unlawful.
As this symbolic activity is marking an end to a life of torture and oppression for some of these women, it could also be the beginning of prosperity of a town that has for decades suffered the bad name and the stigma that comes with hosting a so-called camp for witches, a practice that many now believe has no place in the modern Ghana. This is the second witches camp that is going down in 5 years in this region. Those who have led this campaign to close this one down know the remaining camps, the last 4 standing, that are the region's biggest 2, won't come down easily. But they hope that too would happen soon. Justice Bedu, JoyNews, Nabuli.
Justice Bedu was there at the camp and he covered this historic moment following some of the women as they made their way out of the camp on what they described as a journey of joy and anxiety.
The Nabuli Witches Camp. For some, a safe haven where women accused of witchcraft, fleeing persecution, find solace. But for others, this is a dreaded open dungeon where those that are unwelcome in their own homes come to die. This camp has been here for as long as anyone here remembers. Now it is about to shut down. Kuma Awie is one of the last women packing up to leave. Only yesterday, one woman died in this camp. According to the people who knew her, she was well over 100 years old and had been here in this camp for over 30 years. She died of ill health. It is stories like that and many other women who had died in this camp before her that makes that journey of this woman one with mixed feelings. Happy on one hand that she's finally leaving, but also uncertain of the journey that lies ahead. Kuma Awie's story is like that of many who came before her into this camp. Someone in her hometown said she saw her in her sleep trying to cut off her head. That accusation was enough to convict her and force her out of her home and away from her family after hours of beating and torture.
As I'm going home, I am looking forward to the people I know welcome me back home. My stepmother, my grandchildren, my husband, and all the people I used to talk to.
Mma Ble Bala is also leaving the camp, but would not be going back to her home village 18 kilometers away from Nabuli, where she came from 25 years ago. She's choosing instead to live just outside the Nabuli town.
I am not going anywhere. I am happy here. Even in my sickness or death, I will be here. If I die, they can take my remains back home. But as I live, I'd live here.
Why can't you go home? Why can't you go back home to Nawek?
They'll kill me. The sort of beatings I suffered when I was accused of witchcraft nearly took my life. I can't go back to that again.
I've come to the palace of Isifu Isa VII, the powerful chief of Nabuli, who has led the age-old fight to have this camp closed down.
I am happy we achieved this. I am happy for all the support. Now everyone would know that if you accuse your wife or any relative of witchcraft, there'll be no place here to keep her. Should be your own responsibility.
This is the second camp that is closing in 4 years, setting over 100 women free. But right campaigners who have been at the forefront of the advocacy to close down witches' camps are measured in celebrating the feat, not least because 4 others, which host the most number of inmates, remains open in this region alone. So as the celebration greets this camp's closure, the uncertainty of some of its inmates who are unsure of what would happen next remains. Justice Bedu, JoyNews, Nabuli in the northern region.